Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this productivity series. Today, I'm joined by Joe List, our Western Regional Manager with WOLFF Tools for one of the last productivity series of 2020. And we're going to be discussing some of the smaller tools in the WOLFF Tools lineup, but they may be a little smaller in size, but definitely will increase your productivity when it comes to installing resilient flooring. Joe, how you doing today? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing great, Josh. Thanks for having me, brother.
You bet, you bet. So today we're going to be talking about the GreenCut and the Linocut hand tool by WOLFF Tools. And again, this is part of our productivity series as we wrap up 2020. If you do have questions at the end, we ask that you just put them into the question bar off to the right-hand side, and we'll get to those right at the end. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joe and let him walk through all the features and benefits of the GreenCut and Linocut and talk to you a little bit about the productivity of each. Joe, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Good morning, all. I just want to reiterate, I am currently the West Coast Regional Sales and Technical Rep for the WOLFF Tools division. I also help most of the country with any technical questions or issues they may have. So I get calls from all over the country. So I'm available to everybody at all times. My focus is the West Coast. And as soon as I get this forwarding, we can go on. So here's my specific territory. Big U shape there from Montana over to New Mexico, Alaska, and Hawaii. I have my contact information here if anybody needs to reach me at any time via email or cell phone. My cell phone is basically on 24/7, so I do respond really quickly to any issues you may have. I also want to point out that our YouTube channel and our website are very important tools for me. All of us, we use these two tools for support on a daily basis for sure. YouTube channel has many helpful videos, including all of the webinars that we're doing for 2020, all of our support for our machines, how to do specific things with our stripping machines, how to use our hand tools. So a very, very important tool for us. I'd like to give just a little bit of background of where we're located. Here's our two locations. Everything that we supply in America, we are a German company, comes from a little push pin right there. So Southern Germany, Ilsfeld to be exact. We have a new plant there over the last 5 years. In the US, we're based out of Aurora, Denver, Colorado. So everything comes into Aurora from Ilsfeld and that gets distributed through the US from Denver. So that cool little map just to kind of give a little history of where we're from originally. We've been from that area of the world since the 1950s. So we're focusing today on a couple of our heat weld tools. This is our heat weld family. We went through machines for concrete surface prep. We went through floor removal with our stripping machines. Today we're going to focus on some of the heat welding stuff. Here is a small selection of our key heat welding tools. We've gone through our strip cutter before. We have our circle cutter. We have our rolling groover. We have our power groover, our power welder. Today we're going to talk briefly about the GreenCut and the Linocut. These are by far our most popular and successful installation tools. The GreenCut is what we're going to start with. This is our salvage edge trimmer. Okay, it would take place of a simple salvage edge trimmer, one action tool. It would take place of a straight edge and a hook blade. You can set up this tool for multiple different styles and thicknesses of material. So when talking about the GreenCut features and benefits, we have a dual blade scribe and hook system, okay, which will give you a consistent cut and clean edge. We have adjustable material thickness for many different types of flooring, whether it's straight vinyl, whether it's linoleum, marmo, rubber. You can adjust the material thickness, which I'll show here momentarily, and adjustable width of cut. So if we're just doing a factory spec cut off of the material, we can set it up to be exactly that. If the material's damaged, we need to cut a little bit more, or even if we want to do a feature strip, we can adjust up to 1.25 inches approximately to adjust to the different width of cut. Okay. Application example is pretty simple here. Cutting selvage edge and feature strips for sheet goods and carpet, mostly sheet goods, although it will do low pile carpet, commercial carpet. Okay, here's the GreenCut setup video. This video is just going to show you how you set the tool up for the specific material that you're working on this particular project. So if we loosen the two screws on the back, we can then insert our sample piece of material. Okay, then you have this little spacer plate that comes with it. That goes on top. That sets the exact scribe depth for whatever material you're installing. Tighten the screws and then remove that plate and the material. Now you're set up specifically for that scribe depth for that material. So remove that. Now you're good to go on the depth. Okay, spacer plates. So this is going to set your width of cut. Okay, so like I said, you can, whatever the factory spec is, if you're doing a simple salvage edge trim, you can set up the GreenCut to do whatever that may be from whatever manufacturer you're using. Or if you're accustomed to doing an exact width every time for your installation, you can pick that. If the material got hit in transport, something that's very common, maybe it's got a little rougher edge than normal, you could take multiple passes at it, or you can remove all the spacer plates to set up the specific width you need in any combination of those three that you see there. Okay, so now you have the depth set, now you have the width set. So here's the old way. Okay, we have a hook blade and a straight edge, or we have a one pass system tool and it's just push. Okay. So those are the two different ways that you can do your selvage edge trimming. Much more effective, much quicker with a GreenCut, obviously. Old way effective, new way obviously high speed. Okay, moving right along. This is our Linocut. This is a tool we've been selling for 30 years, I think, or close to. I've been selling it for 20 years, supporting it. It used to have a handle on top, the old version. This is the newer economical version, much easier to use than the one with the handle on the top. This one you put in the palm of your hand, rest the palm of your hand on the side of this tool and keep it in on the material, which I'll show you here. Features and benefits of the Linocut. Dual blade scribe and cut system, okay? Consistent and clean edge cut, pristine cut when you're done with the Linocut. Adjustable blade depth. So if you decide, or you need to, if you're installing Lino, maybe you don't have the sharpest blade, you can scribe and use a hook blade, or you can do two passes of it. You can scribe with one pass with a Linocut, then come back and cut through the seam. So you can do that either way with that tool. We install a lot of linoleum in Europe and Germany. They use it for scribing, then come back with their hook blade and get their beveled edge if that's what they want to do. So that is a way you can do it, or you just pass through. One pass system, more accurate and critically time saving. Okay, so the old way, obviously, button scriber. Okay, so we're using a button scriber, we're scribing the top of the material, we're coming back with a hook blade, and we're cutting through. That's a two-pass system. The Linocut is a one-pass system, at least most of the time. So to be able to do that without having to use a scriber is amazing. You're talking about time saving, that is the epitome of it. You'll still need a button scriber for your corners, your coving, anything like that. You would still need that, so it's still an important tool to have, and we sell the scriber. But for all your straight shot seams, this is the tool to use. Scribing and cutting of seams for sheet goods, simple. Okay, here's the Linocut action video. We got audio for this one. So there you see how easy it is to cut a seam with a Linocut. And it does take some acclimation with this tool. This is not a grab it, go to the job site, use it. Definitely a tool you want to use at least for a day in the shop, garage, wherever you're at, just to get used to it. Once you get used to that tool, it's second nature. It would be hard to go back after you get used to using it, but there's an acclimation period. So just realize that keeping pressure in against that bottom sheet, down and forward all at the same time is key. So as soon as you get that procedure down, you're good to go. So the old way, here's our hand scriber. It's our combo scriber. It's our version of the button scriber, the hinge scriber, whatever it is. So this is the old way. Okay, you would have to scribe it, then you'd have to come back with your hook blade. Very time consuming, takes a lot of patience, and it's a lot longer process. The new way, okay, the Linocut. So just straight shot. You could do a 20-foot seam in 30 seconds. It's done, one pass. So those are the key benefits and how to use both of these tools. And I think I've covered everything. I want to show you this one last application video. There wasn't a GreenCut installation video, so this is going to go through both tools together. This is linoleum. So I'm going to play this one so you get a grasp of both tools working together. So cool thing in there is that we got to throw in a third tool, which is our pressure roller. Obviously, you would sometimes use your stand-up linoleum roller. That's our hand, so while you're down on the floor, you can just roll it right there with our hand roller. So pretty cool video. That was Frank, our technician in Germany, doing that. He's the master, so great video to see how both of those tools work in conjunction with one another. So that's all I have for that, Josh.
Got it, Joe. Thank you very much. Very, very informative webinar here, and hopefully, hopefully you guys learned quite a bit. Joe, we got a couple questions here. Just wanted to kind of run through with you real quick.
Okay.
First one is, when using the Linocut on a glued down vinyl, do you recommend cutting before gluing or after?
The Linocut is 100% after. So you would glue down, as in that previous video, you're going to glue your sheets down completely, roll them, and then cut your seam with a Linocut after.
Cool, cool. Which is also, you know, they say, the person followed up here, also if cutting wet, will it drag adhesive out of the seam?
So I want to say no, with an asterisk, that the guide is designed to go against the side of the bottom sheet, but by virtue of what it's doing, there is a very tiny needle-sized line that has the potential to drag out some adhesive, not like a button scriber. A button scriber, 1/16 of an inch, it'll take out all of that adhesive out of the seam where you need it the most. The
Mhm.
Linocut, if at all, it's very, very minute, not much.
Got it, got it. And can you kind of just, let's just say, compared to the competition out there, we got a gentleman, Jeff, that wrote, you know, what's the biggest advantage of the dual blade scribe system, scribe and hook system on the GreenCut, say over any of the other alternative methods out there?
Well, the two alternative methods, one being a straight edge and a hook, you can imagine the time to set up that type of system and to get it accurate and for it to be perfect every time. Very, very hard to do. And the other system would be just a simple drag through tool that is going to do two things. Okay. First of all, the only thing it's going to do is cut off one exact specific amount. And we have one of these tools as well, our Linocut seam cutter. All it does is drag through the material and cut only one designated amount off, and it leaves a rough edge.
Right.
So with a GreenCut, you can, first of all, you're going to get a perfectly smooth, slightly beveled edge, and you can pick your width and you can pick your thickness. There are some materials that other tools in the market will just not do, thick rubber or something like this. So that's the benefit of the GreenCut over the other ways to do it.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah. I mean, new, as you mentioned, new way of doing things, new technology. Um, definitely, definitely well worth the investment for anybody out there. Um, Another person wrote in here, you know, the adjustable blade depth, and I know you just kind of touched on this with the Linocut or and so forth. I mean, really, if you're doing any type of resilient here, I mean, that adjustable blade depth, kind of, if you could touch on that again, I think we just kind of need to hear that one more time, because the alternative method is basically a hook blade, you know, hoping that you have the right depth, correct?
Yeah, no, exactly. Just the time-consuming nature of setting that up to do it by hand, and it's in a two-step process. And now you have a little scribe line that you have to follow manually with a hook blade. The Linocut with the adjustable blade depths, you have two options, okay, and both options are really good. The one is you can set your exact depth, so you're doing what your scriber would have done very difficultly and way more time consuming. You could set that blade depth just so you're just going to run that Linocut across that, and it's going to scribe the top sheet for you. and then you're going to come back and get, be able to trace a perfect line and not have to worry about fighting a scriber and not have to worry about pulling adhesive out of the seam with it. So completely different animal. And then on the opposite side of that, just bring your adjustment screw all the way up. This is what I do in all my trainings. I pass right through. A little difficult with linocut, or with linoleum, excuse me, of course. But if you have a brand new blade, and you can usually get through it. If not, okay, 2 passes on it. Or go back to what Germany does, do 1 pass with a scribe and use your hook blade to finish it off.
Sure, sure. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Cool. Well, Joe, it looks like we've gone through all the questions thus far. A copy of this recording can be found on the Wolf Tools website. And we really appreciate everybody joining us this year for the productivity series. We look forward to taking these a step further in 2021. So stay tuned for more information there. Joe, last words on your part?
No, I just want to say that if anybody has any questions, issues, comments, they want to call me, they want to text me, they want to email me, I'm at your disposal anytime you want. Please visit our YouTube channel and watch all of our inclusive videos on all of our products. It's very informative. We spend a lot of time getting that prepared for everybody. So, just thanks for everybody for hanging out and listening in.
No worries, no
You got
worries. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see everybody soon. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.